What's going on, everyone? Jared the Star here. Now, it seems like Lil Baby is going to be the new person of interest in a very big criminal indictment. Now, I don't want to jump the gun because this is all an allegation and speculation, but based off what we've seen in the whole Young Thug YSL RICO trial, it's safe to say that Lil Baby may be next as a new takedown in the whole Atlanta YFL, 4PF, YSL, YFN gang takedown. Now, we saw how the whole Young Thug trial panned out with Fonnie Willis pretty much being very upset that she couldn't take down Young Thug because of all the litigation issues, her pretty much bitten off more than she could chew. And Young Thug, even though he had crazy stipulations of 15 years probation, essentially got to walk a free man for what it seemed to the public eye. Now, when it comes to Lil Baby's in a very different situation because Lil Baby actually has been arrested for anything, but people think that Lil Baby is going to be the prime suspect in another takedown of a YSL, or should I say RICO, for the 4PF. And we all know 4PF is Young Thug's, or should I say Lil Baby's whole gang organization, 4 Pockets Full. But what's funny about this whole situation is that 4PF had a rebrand in 2023 where they went from 4 Pockets Full all the way to Glass Money, or should I say Glass Windows Entertainment. And they kind of had to clean up and polish their image, let them know, hey, this is a record label, we're not a gang. Now, we saw how the whole Young Thug YSL RICO trial played out, and it's a YSL is Young Slam Life a gang, or Young Slam Life the record label, and it caused a lot of controversy. And it seems like Lil Baby, someone who knows that the feds are pretty much kind of on his tail. And it seems like the whole DA in Atlanta has it out for all the rappers. You know, she's pretty upset that she couldn't get Young Thug, and Lil Baby is pretty much next on the chopping block. Now, the murder, should I say the homicide that they're talking about, that they're trying to pin towards Lil Baby, has no direct correlation to Baby, if I'm being totally honest. But essentially, Lil Baby filmed the music video in an op rival hood. And I'm going to keep this very simple. We know how there's O Block versus 63rd. We know how there's Young Boy versus whatever the other gang in Louisiana. But the gangs for today is 4PF versus Lil Baby's camp versus OMF, which is Only My Family. And I guess they have some real static going on in Atlanta. I'm not from there, but that's what I've seen on the internet. And they're accusing Lil Baby of instigating a rap beef, saying that Lil Baby went to the op hood, I guess, which was wherever that was in West Atlanta, Northwest Atlanta, and filmed a music video in that area, and people came and shot up that whole block and seen and killed 2 13-year-olds. I know it was one of the 13-year-olds' birthday. So a lot of people, or should I say the whole, police and the people who did the whole press conference when it happened back in February, or they made it public, they called Lil Baby a coward. They said, hey, this guy's supposed to be a leader, he's a rich rapper, he's supposed to come back and invest in his community, but he's out here trying to be a real ninja. He's trying to prove his image, go to his opposite, so that I'm still rich and can't be untouchable, which is a paradox we see with a lot of rappers. They get money, they're fly, they have the whole lifestyle, they have the the nice woman, the nice cars, nice family, but still they let you know that they're a real ninja. And that might be, I don't want to say Lil Baby's downfall, but what got the feds super on this case. But let's remind you though, this happened in 2024, and the Lil Baby rebrand from 4PF to Glass Windows Entertainment happened in 2023. So he probably knew, and like anyone who's in the public eye, when something's not right. Similar to the Lil Durk case that happened, I guess, a couple years ago when him and King Von had that shooting in Atlanta, and it magically got dropped by the feds, even though they're being charged for attempted murder, I believe. It's almost like the DA, or should I say whoever is controlling Atlanta, said, you know what, nah, back off, let him go because we got a bigger fish to fry. And then we saw Lil Durk's murder for hire, which was that fish. Now, when it comes to Lil Baby situation, we don't entirely know, obviously, if he's being arrested. And I kind of hate talking like this because it's like, you kind of feel like you're preying on someone's downfall. But this is kind of all the speculation for what I've seen in the media. But it's very interesting to see because he's being blamed for basically filming a friend in an area that he shouldn't be in because he's already rich and out of that lifestyle. And police are saying, hey, because you were in this area, we're doing all types of stuff they shouldn't be doing. Someone actually got killed because they slid through here trying to shoot it up because of what you did. Now, is Lil Baby supposed to be more responsible? I guess you can say so, but he's not responsible for people wanting to retaliate on him in an area that he probably wasn't in. I doubt he posted this in real time, but like I said, it was a music video, so he probably was there for a couple hours with the whole entire block being shut down. So what the police officers are alleging is that a high-ranking member from a gang opposing Lil Baby, which is OMF, called to hit on a pair of teens using a cell phone from behind bars in jail. Now, this, in my opinion, is a stretch, of course, because you're essentially saying that someone in jail knew that Lil Baby was filming a music video on a set date and set time and told someone to go shoot up the block and essentially kill whoever was there. That's not entirely true, or should I say that doesn't entirely make sense to me. It could be true. Like I said, this is all speculation. And honestly, the police definitely know more than me because they're in Atlanta and they're dealing with the crime. And there's a lot of other stuff that we're going to see. Lil Baby is set to go on tour in the next couple of months, which is in June. But the police officer in Atlanta let the people know that, hey, This is a grown man who is essentially a coward who pretty much instigated a beef that he really shouldn't have done it because he's already rich. Why do you care about proving you're a real ninja when you're already rich? It's like, you don't go back to your high school after you graduated. You don't go back to your old job after you became a self-proclaimed entrepreneur and make millions of dollars. Like, you don't leave what was bad to become better to go flex on the people who are still doing bad, which is essentially how the, I guess the investigators and the whole prosecution, I can't even say prosecution, but the whole investigators and the whole team of detectives, I should say, are analyzing the situation. Now, what I will say is, I'm getting back in that mode. I'm trying to, get a little stuff situated when it comes to this whole recording. But Lil Baby's situation is something that we definitely got to pay more attention to because a lot of things are changed right in front of our eyes. Obviously, there's no indictment to really look at, like how the Young Thug case was, where you could see all these litigation stipulations, who said what, and the whole premise of it, because this is all just a story being developed in Atlanta. But I've seen multiple interviews from the whole George Chidi on Vlad TV, speaking of how a lot of people are pretty much crashing out to get record deals in Atlanta, doing pretty much anything to get money or status to leave the city. And it's like, we have a Lil Baby who has all of that, still allegedly is doing stuff in his community because he wants to prove a point. Like I said, until something really gets happened, there's a paperwork, an arrest, or indictment, we truly don't know. This is all viewed as speculation, and that's just how media works. Now, thank you for watching this video. This is Jared Star, and I got something coming real nice for you guys in the next couple of days. Let's get it.